It's Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Diz. Featuring Frank. And Jen.
Hi, this is Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I'm Frank. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to bring you 3 topics or subjects that are Disney/theme park related. Jen doesn't know the topics or subjects because we were doing other things prior to this broadcast. And she'll be surprised. You'll be surprised in the chat. You'll get to vote on. Jefferson's already picked 312. It's not out of the realm of possibility here. And we will go from there. We're in the middle right now of the 12 days of Dillos Diz Twitter Ohana over on the Theme Park Thursday.
Social media Ohana.
Oh. So I think by now it's the 8th day. You think I would know the title.
Right.
The 8th day of the Dillos Diz Social Media Ohana. A guest never before on the podcast. 12 days in a row. This is day 8. So check out the podcast that dropped earlier today with Gene from the Disney Underground / The Magical Lifestyle / the FPE network here on YouTube. It's a very Long Island podcast episode.
That's how we roll.
We
had a lot of Long Islanders, a lot of Northeastern folk on this whole 12 days. Sitch.
Yeah, it's it's very Northeastern friendly this year. Northeastern.
Northeastern.
Northeastern, as I just said. So thanks to everyone who's listened to the episode so far. We got 4 more after today. One of which we'll discuss over at our Patreon at DillosDizResort.com immediately following this edition of Theme Park Thursday Live. We take it over there, chat for a little bit of extra time. Steffers, we missed you.
Yes, very much. Welcome back.
Welcome back here. You did the drop in last week though. So
that's right.
It was like
we appreciated that.
Spirit. Yeah.
Yes.
So DillosDizResort.com following the post show for a little extra bonus chat. And then we will figure out what I appreciate you noting my festive look. Lexi, I appreciate it. I'm feeling festive.
Oh.
It's very hard. Here's the thing about Jen's stance on I'm not watching anything Christmas until Thanksgiving. And my history goes because of working at Macy's for many years and in Santa Land that I always started earlier, so it has bled in since then. But you hit about this week and it's 65 degrees outside.
It annoys me.
And you've been watching Hallmark movies since the end of October. It's getting a little bit challenging to remain in the holiday spirit. But we are here for it.
I have had 106.7 on for like a week or two now. Every time I'm in the car, I'm listening to Christmas music. But it's exactly what I thought this morning. I'm like, this weather annoys me at this time of year. And then I go, oh, is this why I couldn't live in Florida? But I'm convinced that if I ever moved next to Disney, that I would have to come back probably for the entire month of December just to try, not on the 65-degree days, but otherwise to try to just get a bit of the weather to smell, try to get the smell of Christmas in the air, all of it. But today, what am I like? I can just go out in this? No, not okay.
Yeah, and we're not saying we want 12-degree days with snow pouring on the ground, 8 inches of snow. We don't want that. We want 36 to 42. If you can give us that, right in that range.
I mean, in fairness, I accept snow at this time of year. That's
no,
okay.
I'm not saying that we don't.
It's not okay at the end of March.
So that's where we're at. So that's what part of why I'm being so. See what happens. You get the offer. You get the offer of you look so festive, and then you get a rant about the weather and why. That's what happens here over with us at Dillos Diz. 3 topics or subjects. We're already 6 minutes in. We have 24 minutes left. But here we go. Topic number one, the flower and garden dates. I think last week on Theme Park Thursday Live, we were like, when does the flower and garden happen? When is the lag between Festival of the Arts and Flower and Garden? Mostly because we think Festival of the Arts is too short.
Right.
Which I think is then justified by these dates that were released for Flower and Garden, which is, again, much like Food and Wine, 10 months long. And I'm not going to get into it right now. That's topic number one. Topic number two, the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular returns on Sunday, December 19th. So there's a whole Indiana Jones thing to discuss there as well. Jen and I like to debate this often, so it's worth revisiting now.
Mm-hmm.
And then topic number three, Galactic Starbookings. It's all the buzz about the availability of the Galactic Star Cruiser and maybe the reasons behind why there's availability or not availability, whatever it happens to be. I think we should just have an open discussion with our friends in the chat here to see where everyone feels and thinks, because I have some feelings and I have some thoughts. And I'm going to carry that part of this topic here. We're going to talk over at DillosDizResort.com in a post show about my TikTok where I rank Star Wars movies. There's a lot of people commenting on my TikTok at Improving Frank.
Improving Frank. What's your numbers
It's not
up to?
Improving Frank. It's Improving Frank. And there's just people, and not surprising, they're questioning my order of things, and that's fine.
They're going back at you. That's fine. You need the interaction. Oh, you're up to 37 followers.
I know, it's so new, and I got 37 followers on the TikToks already. At Improving Frank.
546 or 646. It's hard because it's getting hidden by the ranking.
I know. I hate when I do that, when I make it too white over there in the corner so that you can't see the number of views.
Right.
I got to go somewhere where there's no service so that it's dark and I can see the number. That's my secret. All right. Are we off the rails a little bit here? 8 minutes in, 22 minutes left. What's the order? Jeffers is mad already that Solo is second to last. See, these are the things we're going to talk about over at DillosDizResort.com.
Yes.
Lexi, that's why it's constant.
What do you mean? He's got a Santa hat on today, Lexi. You just called him festive. What do you mean he's not improving? That's improvement.
It's a perpetual improving. I'm improving my life.
He's in a better mood than October. That's improvement.
Oh, goodness. So why is Zephyr sad? There's a lot of comments going on in here. Well, oh, goodness. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. Because Stephers is sad because TikTok and her aren't the best of friends, but I think she's just got to keep going. You got to just keep pushing through,
3, 2, 1. Stephers has like 8,000 views on one of her TikToks. Don't think I'm not stalking it to see what she's doing right and wrong so far. So 3, 2, 1 is what I think. 3, 2, 1 is the way to go.
Yes.
Because I think Indiana Jones will be the shortest of the three, so we can use that as the bridge.
Sure.
The Galactic Starbookings. So what you see a lot over on the social medias is, oh, look at all this availability now for the Galactic Star Cruiser. People are dropping like flies because they see what Disney is offering on the social media. Whether we're talking about the YouTube video that had the behind the scenes, what was the kid from the Goldbergs? What was it?
Yeah.
So whether it was that video or with the musical performance, or whether it was the recent picture of the captain of the Star Cruiser, listen, I think there's a variety of reasons of why or why not availability is being made. One, what if Disney just didn't release all the rooms right away?
Right. Mm-hmm.
What if they only released a limited number?
Yeah.
Why do they have to tell you that's what they did? Why can't they just say, oh, we held some rooms back. Maybe they weren't going to be ready on time. Maybe they wanted a smaller number of rooms available at the beginning so they weren't completely overwhelmed. The idea that there's availability because people have canceled. I mean, I heard from a source who told the third party when they were getting a haircut that they canceled their Galactic Star Cruiser booking because of a YouTube video. I only can take that so far.
Yeah, I would also play the da-da-da-da-da card because some numbers are increasing in a lot of places. So one, I feel like that could be playing into cancellations.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like it could be playing into Disney's move of I mean, obviously, they're pretty much at capacity by pretending they're not. But maybe they are starting smaller. That if things really took a turn, or they had to kind of scale back a bit, it wouldn't be such a big thing, and it's kind of more manageable that way. But I think people are probably back to canceling some trips because of going on.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's there's so many variables to like pin it on. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say this person's lying or that person's lying or you're not being truthful, but I'm just
Right.
talking about the variables and to just pin it on one thing of it's because of these what's been shown in social media. I
Hmm.
mean, I think Disney was in a no-win. I
Yeah.
think they had to show something. I don't think what they're showing is actually an indication of what you're going to see.
Hmm.
And but I also think that they were in a place of, well, maybe people aren't going to come, so let's show something. And so they were in a no-win. I think they should have showed nothing
Right.
and rolled the dice and seen what the feedback was. And if they trusted what they were going to present to guests in
Hmm.
March, then don't show anything. Let it be a mystery. Let it be a secret.
Yeah. And I also think that there seems to be this weird thing that happens when it comes to Galaxy's Edge. And I understand that some of it is hype or whatever else, but I feel like there's a disconnect when people start getting all opinionated versus Disney. Like, how many people were like, Galaxy's Edge is a huge failure? It's a
Hmm.
failure. And it's like, what are you? It is not a failure. What are you talking? Who is saying it's a failure? And I just feel like people just start something and then run with it. I know people don't do that, and run with it. And then it becomes like a bigger thing. And I'm like, I don't know that this is an accurate thing that we're talking about here. And I feel like there's more to the story. There's more behind Disney's motives. Disney always has motives. There's more behind what people are saying and who's saying what and whatever else.
Lexi talked about people moving dates.
Yeah.
Stephen says people are canceling though. Yeah, but again, I think it comes with negativity. I mean,
Yeah. Uh-oh. Frank is freezing. He's freezing. Are you coming
way
back?
back.
Oh, you're back.
No,
Okay.
I mean, and we got that too in the fall. We got people are canceling, and
Yeah.
was it going? Are they going back to school? Are they going to? It's the idea of we're connecting these two things of we're pulling down the content that we've been showing, like the video, and coupling it with the story of the cancellation of the reservations. And I think, but people don't have money either. How about
Mhm.
that?
Now, have you heard people that have had the experience or talking about like what because otherwise, oh, my friend or my I don't know about all that. I don't know about all those stories.
Steffers,
Yeah.
you can't say you're not getting great experiences if you don't know what the experience is.
Right. Like
Like everyone that's going right now is rolling the dice. It's like
right.
whenever there's something new. Like so, if that's the truth, fine. Is it based
Mhm.
on recent experiences, based on the holiday party, the Christmas party, the boo bash, whatever we call boo bash in the
Right.
what's called boo bash, right? Or not, so yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
not so scary became boo bash.
Mhm.
So if you're basing on that, okay. But if this is like everything to you, I don't know. I would trust that the money you're putting into the Galactic Star Cruise, they don't want this to blow up in their face.
Right.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Right. Yes.
agreed.
Lexi
Hmm.
agreed with this. Yeah. And
That's
Steppers, we're not yelling at you. I know you're just the messenger. We're just people got previews, which I think is how they're basing it off of. But are those the people talking? Or is it people going, I know someone who was in the preview and they said, did it like is it that and then the snowball effect? Or is it I gotta do some Googling and I want someone's firsthand experience. And I also feel like previews still not accurate because that's
right
not
because they
the
got. I mean, now granted, our frequent guest Amy
Mhm.
Ratcliffe like had
Yeah.
a more positive experience
Yeah.
going, but she's also more connected to Star Wars in that universe. You read Carly Weisel's, and then maybe it has a little more of a jury's out kind of reading to it. So and obviously then it trickles down from there
Yeah.
of who else says who got the previews. Again, they getting the full experience? Are they just getting to see things? You know,
Right.
and I see people tweet all the time. Who's our friend on Twitter, the Irish pirate there? You know, she was talking about like, I want to be in a hallway and the lights go out and Darth Vader, you know,
Yeah.
ignites the lightsaber like in Rogue One. And my thing is like, I make the Sleep No More comparisons where I want to stumble into a room, you know, like you know, Luke going into the cave or Ray going down the cellar in Maz's pub, and
Mhm.
you end up with the Force vision. Like that's what
Yeah.
I want.
Right.
So are you gonna give those secrets away in a preview? You're
Right.
not. So to just base it on what they gave you,
Right.
I don't know.
And Jeffers is saying like maybe it's sticker shock too. Like, oh yeah, everyone's putting down the deposit, but then it's like, oh, whoa, that's
It's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of money.
money actually. Yeah. So
And
like
it's the
maybe they pull back
holidays.
a bit. Right. Right. Yeah. I feel like there's too many things going on. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot
See
of
what
variables.
happens.
I don't know. I just don't like. We make big jumps based on things, and
Yeah.
I think if I think it comes down to money and whether you have it or not, for real, and the state of the world.
Yeah.
And I think you can wait. You can wait to get on the Galactic Star Cruiser. Is
Yes.
also how I feel about it. So I don't know. I don't know why I'm so worked up. It bothers me. It bothers me to see that kind of those jumps being made, and especially
Right.
connected to what they're offering, because I think it's all smokescreen. I think
Right.
it's a smokescreen for what's actually underneath.
Yes.
I hope. Topic number 2, Epic returns. The Indiana Jones Epic The Stunt Spectacular returns on Sunday, December 19th, just in time for the busiest 2 weeks of the year. You got to make sure you get a large amount of people at #AlwaysMGM into a theater at 7 times a day, and try to reduce it by 800 to 1,000 people or so.
Yeah.
I think it's great to see the show back. Obviously, more entertainment involved, being brought back to Walt Disney World. I think Jen and I like to have this debate, so we'll share it again now. They delayed the next Indiana Jones movie to 2023. Can we not build up Indiana Jones properly now for a year and a half?
No.
It's crazy. Why? Why can't we use this reopening of the stunt show as a way to cross market the movie that's going to come out 16 months after? You got 16 months. You got 16 months to really start pumping Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Well, that makes too much sense. And also, I think they're going to wait. They don't want to pump something that big. First of all, like, I also feel like maybe they don't have confidence. Let's put that out there, because if they had the confidence, they would do it. Because you know why? Let's go back to when Frozen was coming out. And Frozen was coming out, I didn't even know when it was coming out, and there was merch all over Disney World for it. And I was like, what is this movie they're pushing? What is happening? And I still haven't seen anything like that in years. I feel like they don't push the merch on movies even after it's come out. So I don't know how they kind of go, this is going to do it. And Frozen did it. But I feel like unless they really felt like this is going to make us so much money, they're not doing it, because they don't want to take that chance.
You don't want it to blow up in their face.
Right.
I don't know. I think that, it's a way to, I think one of the bigger risks of a new Indiana Jones movie is the demographic involved. So if you're bringing kids to an Indiana Jones stunt show, like I would think a lot of those kids probably haven't seen the movies yet at this point. I mean, that would be my guess. Or
the kids are now of our generations, of the parents who have seen it and then probably are into it.
If Indiana Jones is in space, I swear to God.
And they're into it, so they may have shown the movies to the kids, and that might be it too. It might be more of a nostalgic pull, kind of like Galaxy's Edge. Sure, kids were excited for it, but our generations were more excited for Galaxy's Edge because you had so many of yous out there of, seeing it as a kid and, oh my God, this is all I ever dreamed about. So there might be a little bit of that when it comes to Indiana Jones 2, which they could be building off of. But the new movies, I don't know that they're cutting it enough to be creating that kind of world. But with this new one, if it did just create this big surge because of the nostalgic tie, because the kids of that generation are now big enough to be seeing this movie, it might do it, and then they might run with it. I don't know.
No, and I mean, I think the other part is, just to tie it into our first topic, is that they've been burned by Star Wars and the
Yeah.
reaction of people to that. So they're going to be afraid of pumping the machine and
Yes.
then it blowing up in their face. So, I mean, that's valid as well. And I think that, and we talk about this all the time. You can tell, right? We always tell with the Muppets, when they do something, it's like, oh God, stop it with the Indiana Jones in space. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want to see Indiana Jones in space.
Mhm.
I mean, we already introduced the aliens to their world, but gosh, I don't hate Indiana Jones 4 as much. I mean, the ending is rough, but yeah, I'm okay with. Most people are angry about
Yeah.
Indiana Jones 4. I don't know if I'm as angry about Indiana Jones 4 as most people.
Right.
I don't know. It's, the Star Wars prequels did something to me, and I had to work myself past it, which is, again, come on over to Dillos Diz Resort immediately following, and I'll talk about why I ranked my Star Wars movies the way I did.
Oh, I thought you were saying something else
No,
right
that was
after
it.
that.
That's all I had to say.
I like that everyone is just running with it at this point. Everyone's running with this. See.
What if then you could convert Space 220 to be Indiana Jones themed?
Oh man, there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing, and all the IP, all the parks with it. Each park gets something for it.
We're yes-anding Jeffers' offer of Indian space, and now we're here. We're moving on to the last topic. I'm just making sure I have the dates right. That's why I'm looking down at my phone here. Let's go to the flower and garden dates at Epcot. 2022 Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival returns March 2nd to July 4th. Enjoy the return of the Garden Rocks concert series, a new main entrance topiary display for Disney's 50th anniversary, and more. I always love and more. They're my favorite. This is now out of order. The banners are all moving all over the place. Okay. 4 months of flower and garden. 4 months of food and wine. 6 weeks of Festival of the Arts. That kind of makes sense a little bit. Not that you couldn't move. 6 weeks of Festival of the Arts. 6 weeks of holidays, right? 6 weeks of holidays is the arts that don't make sense. 6 weeks of the holidays, I get, because food and wine goes all the way up to the week before Thanksgiving.
Right.
You could shift that a little bit back if you wanted to move the holidays up sooner. I mean, you got the Christmas parties starting early November. Why can't you have holidays around the World Showcase there starting at the beginning of November? So the Festival of the Arts has become so popular, and maybe the popularity at this point is because it's only 6 weeks long.
Right. I don't know how I don't know how I'm feeling about all these things, because to your point, I think, if that is the popularity surrounding it because it's only a shortened amount of time, I feel like that's what the festival should be. And maybe this is almost kind of, now that I'm hearing myself say these things out loud, I feel like, am I you with the castle lights? But I don't agree with you in the castle lights, because I feel like everyone should get that experience during the holidays. But, I understand it gives more people time to visit Food and Wine, and I understand it's a moneymaker, and I understand all these things. But like, Food and Wine used to be like September to November, and that was it. It's a short little thing. And I feel like when it's a festival, it should only be like this limited time thing, not 4 months, 6 weeks. And the holidays are sprinkled in. Plus, I feel like at this point, they're basically all food and wine sprinkled in with other things. So why don't you just keep the food and wine booths all year round and then sprinkle in the other festivals? And it doesn't have to be like, well, this is food and wine, this is Festival of the Arts, this is it. Like, I don't know.
No, I feel food and wine is, no pun intended, so watered down at this point. I don't feel the specialness of food and wine anymore, where it used to be the best day. Like when you were working for an airline, often I would take my I'm just going to do a 1-day trip down real quick. It was because of food and wine.
Yeah.
And now I don't feel that pull, that urge to do that. So It's interesting. Lexi is pulling a U. I don't know if you saw it in our one channel Discord
Yeah.
where Lexi has the in-between festival week.
Yes. And that's what I had in July, which it seems like there's probably going to be that week in July again between this and Food and Wine starting. But you know what? It's kind of nice because you can walk around World Showcase without it being insanity. I mean,
Also, there is also that.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is nice.
It does have its pluses and minuses, but
Yeah.
it also, it's like a TIE fighter going past the apartment over here, just to bring it back to the Star Wars theme. But it's also, I mean, that's the other part, right? Where you then have these 4-month festivals twice a year with Flower and Garden and Food and Wine taking up 8 months of your year. I mean, how about a little bit more of those lags just to give people some breathing room? Not out of the question. Yeah. Or to try the restaurants.
Right.
I mean, I think I would love to see that marketing research is people who go to the restaurants because the booths were so crazy versus people who don't go to the restaurants because they just want to
try all the booths.
Like, I want to know what that.
Yeah, because I think both of us have probably canceled reservations plenty going, but it's Food and Wine. I'd rather go to all the booths and try different things than have a reservation somewhere if I'm going to be in Epcot, even though, you know, I may want to go to this restaurant, but maybe I'll hit that next time. I don't know.
All right. Well, that was a quick 28 minutes on a lot of ranting today here on Theme Park Thursday Live. We'll keep the ranting going over to, and I just want to say here before I go. Michael, I'm not going to the Galactic Star Cruiser anytime soon.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with money or what they're offering, or, I mean, it has to do with money, but what they're offering. It's like, I don't, I almost agree with what Steffer said earlier about, you know, I don't need to go to Galaxy's Edge as part of my 2-day thing. So I need to, the jury is out for me. I do believe, though, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff you're not seeing on the Galactic Star Cruiser anytime soon. And also, I can't wait till everyone has to fill out like a no disclosure form when they get aboard the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Seriously.
Like, don't tell anybody what you saw here.
Leave your cell phones at the door. Yeah.
It'd be fascinating. I mean, I'm excited to talk about this all the way until March because it's just going to keep coming back around.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you over at DillosDizResort.com. Make sure to check out our Vlogmas series that keeps popping up here on the YouTube. We got 4 days left of the 12 days of social media Ohana over on our audio podcast. So make sure to check that out on your favorite podcatcher as well. Until next time, it'll be 2 days before Christmas next Thursday. Just think about that. It'll be the 23rd next week.
It's coming fast.
She's Jen, and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
This is